Alright, I'm gonna bring us in here in a minute. Alright, you good? Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Championship Night, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Out here, 75 laps to decide a champion out here tonight in the Cyber Thunder Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series, live from the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. Familiar faces, familiar places. Chris Wold joins me up in the hauler out here tonight. Chris, how you doing? How you feeling? Looking forward to a great race. Championship night here. This is certainly going to be one for the books.
Yeah, I'm real excited to see this under the lights here at Charlotte for the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Star Series. Get to crown a champion tonight, second champion of the week. We saw one crowned last night in the Tuesday night series, and now it is time for our Rising Star Series to show what they've got and crown a champion. A little bit different format, though. There are points running tonight, so there's some math that we may be doing midway through this race and busting out some calculators. But I'm excited for it as qualifying's getting ready to start.
Qualifying getting ready to start, and we are looking for the first car out on track. First car out on track. Looks like everybody's still strapping into their machines. How's everybody out there on YouTube doing? How you guys feeling out here tonight? Who do you guys got? See a couple of picks for Dusty already out here. Terry and Patsy already checking in the Cyber Broadcast Network. Following Eric Moore, first car out on track here for tonight's qualifying.
As I learn where my mic button is, Eric Moore, one of our playoff championship drivers for tonight, getting ready to take his laps out here. It'll be interesting to see some of the lines we see during this qualifying. If we see drivers take 3-4 high to get that run and get that speed going into the tri-oval, or if they do kind of what Eric there, was kind of mid-pack and see what he does on this first lap. It's like he's kind of staying a little bit high there, keeping that momentum going. We'll see if he gets close to that blue line on the second lap.
Yeah, Chris, and you know what? As we're going through here, we'll pull up the point standings on the right-hand side for qualifying here. Cole Gray, current points leader, 1 point ahead of Brian Dorsey. Big story there. The driver of the number 3 machine, Mr. Cole Gray, not out here tonight. So the championship hunt is going to be between Brian Dorsey, Eric Moore, and Bill Jetty, all with a mathematical chance to win the championship here. But Cole Gray not on the speedway. Eric Moore, we're following him around, still third on the championship standings right now.
Yeah, and he's not on the speedway for good reasons. He is a new dad of 2, some twins out there. So, again, congrats to Cole and having those twins. And I know babies are good and healthy. Mommy's all good and healthy. So he was wishing he could be out here tonight, but having twins, that'd be a stretch there. Happy wife, happy life there. So I think he made the right choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Cole ran a phenomenal season out here, and bad time and good time and whatever you want to call it, family's always going to come first. And we certainly wish Cole was able to be out here and contend for a championship out here tonight, but that is not the case. Jeff Dotson currently on track going through NASCAR 1 and 2. Gets really right down along that blue line coming through turns 1 and 2. Gets a little bit of a wiggle out of 2 and down the backstretch here, Chris.
Yeah, that little wiggle may cost him time there. Is currently on the track. Cody has set the time as 30.774, so he is continuing his streak of just good luck out on the track.
Yeah, a couple more cars still out on track right now. Andrew Kotska, some heavy hitters that have not taken times just yet. Andrew Kotska, one of those, trying to chase his Mad Sim Racing teammate down for the current pole position right now, set by Cody Richardson at a 30.77. See what Andrew Kotska can do on his first lap here. First lap for the 47 machine is going to stick him 13th on the speed charts. Not a place we're used to seeing the 47 machine. We'll see if he picks up on the second lap here.
David Gainforth is coming across, finishing his lap. Slight move there, but no better in his position as here comes Andrew Kotska getting ready to finish this lap to see if this sees any better timing for him.
Second time by, does pick up a little bit, moves himself up 4 positions to the number 9 spot currently. Looks like David Gainforth is the last car out on track. So with about a minute remaining here, we're running a few minutes behind out here tonight. We're going to switch over to the national anthem here, and we will be back for all of happy hour. We'll have a roundtable with your top 3 championship contenders. We will be right back here from Charlotte.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right. National Anthem Star Spangled Banner playing over the loudspeakers here at Charlotte Motor Speedway as these guys begin their final preparations for 75 laps around Charlotte Motor Speedway for championship night in the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series out here tonight. How's everybody doing out there? Want to see your guys' picks. Who do you guys got coming home with the race win and the championship as well? We're going to be gathering up the top 3 points, top 4 really right now. Bill Jetty, Eric Moore, and Brian Dorsey. Let's see if we can't grab all 3 of these drivers. Hey Bill, hey Brian, and hey Eric. It's Tom and Chris up here in the booth. You guys got us.
What's going on, man?
Hey guys, well we wanted to catch up with you here for a few minutes before the start of the race, and we'll get you back down so you guys can talk to your teams and figure out your race strategy. But wanted to get with you guys here real quick, and we'll start with Eric himself. Eric, what got you started in sim racing? What's your greatest accomplishment in sim racing so far, heading into tonight on the verge of a championship?
I guess what got me started in sim racing was my cousin got it, and I went over to his house and played it, and which I was on the dirt side of things. Jay drug me over here to the dark side of asphalt, and I kind of haven't left since. So
Hey, there you go.
I'd say my biggest accomplishment it would probably be making playoffs in the final race. You know, competing for a championship in tonight and tomorrow night's race.
Yeah, competing for the championship for tonight's race and the final 4 for the Wheels for Warriors Pro Cup race as well. You're in the final 4 for that. But I'm going to pose the same question to Brian and Bill. Brian, what's your biggest accomplishment in sim racing? How'd you get started, and what brought you over here to Cyber this past season contending for the Bully Dog Championship here?
I've actually been on iRacing since it's been around. I'm an old NASCAR Papyrus guy. Raced on that in my younger days, and then when iRacing came out, I jumped on that. I've been on here ever since. I had a couple years there when I stopped doing it, and been racing ever since. Greatest accomplishment. I mean, it's pretty cool racing for race with Eric and Bill. I'm sad Cole's not here. That's a pretty cool accomplishment. Anytime I can win at a road course, that's a heck of an accomplishment.
Trust me, I am in the
Agreed.
same. I'm in the same boat as you there, Brian. And Bill, we'll round out this round of questions here with you. What brought you over to Cyber? How long you been doing this, and what's your accomplishments in sim racing?
I mean, I'm kind of been in iRacing for way too long. I feel like at this point, the amount of things that I've picked up and tried and ran and all that other fun stuff and failed successfully at. But no, I mean, Cyber is just a great group. It's kind of why I came over here, did some recruitment races with you guys, and it's just been absolutely fantastic ever since. And you know, I have to kind of echo what the other guys said. You know, the biggest accomplishment would be to race for a championship here. I mean, the close racing, you know, all the guys here are just good. So it's tough. It really is.
Yeah,
It
certainly,
is.
certainly some really tough competition, and I believe Chris has. Chris, you got the next round, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a good segue there. I think all three of you kind of hit the piece, so that's kind of gonna be our final question. We'll go in the reverse order. So Bill, I'll kick it off with you first here. Now, obviously, you don't want to give away the farm because you got your two competitors in here, but what are you thinking tonight? How do you lock this thing up? You're kind of the longest shot here, but how do you lock this thing in? What's your strategy? What are you thinking tonight to help get yourself the championship in the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Star Series?
I gotta win, Chris. Like that's it. My mathematical chance of taking the playoffs or taking the championship at this point is winning this race and just hoping, unfortunately, Eric or Brian has a very bad race. But from seeing what they did on the speed charts, not gonna be easy.
Definitely a tall hill, but I know you're always running up in the front there, so I'm excited to see what you can do up there. But I figured that was going to be the strategy on your end, getting that W. Not a far task for you to get the W, just a far task on what your two counterparts will do there. So I'll move over then to Brian. What's your strategy going in tonight? Again, don't give away the farm here. They're in the room with you, but what are you thinking for tonight?
Race the way I always race. Just ride around, save your stuff, don't get in trouble, and see where you're at the last 20 laps. You just try to stay out of trouble, get the best finish you can get. That's all you can do. And of course, you always got to go for the win. Everybody wants to win.
That's right. All right, Eric. Time for you to bring us home. What's the strategy for tonight?
I would say finish. After watching last night's race, I think hopefully it goes nothing like that one did. I would just say finishing would be the thing, but you definitely got to save some tires. This is a good group of guys to race with, so I see us getting a couple long green flag runs in. So save your stuff and be there at the end.
There we go. That's generally the strategy I have. Keep that nose clean, and good things will happen to you. Happened last night in the trucks, some unexpected finishing. So we'll see what happens tonight. Good luck to the three of you tonight. Really looking forward to it. I think we're going to have some awesome green flag runs here to shake this things up and let you guys race at it. See what we can get.
All right, man.
Appreciate
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
All right, see ya.
All right, we're going to start to kick your championship contenders out of the hauler up here as we prepare for the final 3 minutes of warm-up here out here tonight. Cody Richardson, starting on the pole, currently sits at the top of the speed charts for Happy Hour out here, followed by Kyle Nadeau, Dusty Martin. Dusty Martin, fan favorite, starting third on the speed charts out here tonight. Qualifying in third position and also sitting third right now in Happy Hour. And Chris, we had a very special announcement here over the past couple of days that Bully Dog Coffee Company will be back for the September seasons.
Yeah, that is awesome news. They've been great partners, Bully Dog Coffee Company, to work with. We got a couple of their cars out here sponsored for the race, and then to have them continue on for that second season for us in the 2021 season. I'm excited for that, especially with the new sheriff in the street stepping in. David Gainforth going to take over the Wednesday series for us, and some of the shakeup he's going to do. I think it's going to be a good season. And again, Bully Dog, they've been a great partner to work with. If you have not tried their coffee, it is amazing. Make sure you head over to their website, grab yourself some of that best friend blend. That's the kind we get here at our house. It is an awesome coffee, and they're an awesome partner. So I'm excited for them to be back with us for season 2 in September.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. And you know what we love at Cyber Thunder Racing League? We love working with good people. And that's what Patrick Bowler and his team over at Bully Dog Coffee is. They are good people. That they're every everything that you send over to them, they're doing good work. But going into the championship points out here tonight, Chris, 2 questions for you, and I'll answer mine after you answer yours. 1, who do you got winning the race tonight?
I think winning the race tonight, again, I'm not going to go chalk like I did last week. I'm going to go second chalk. I think Kyle Nadeau, who's running pretty good in this happy hour, he ran really good in the practice. So I think Kyle Nadeau has got a piece in here that can save some of those tires and be that run and take out the chalk that's riding in the front right now.
All right. Well, you know what? I don't disagree there, but you know what? I think tonight is finally the night that Dusty Martin avoids any sort of bad luck. I haven't picked him to win a single race all season long. Sitting 3rd on the speed charts, qualified 3rd. Tonight is the night that Dusty Martin finds his way into victory lane. Second question I got for you, Chris. We just talked to him. You know what's coming. Who's going to win the championship?
Yeah, as much as I'd pull for Bill, Bill's a great racer. I enjoy racing around Bill. That's a hard stretch, right? And you heard his strategy. His strategy is win. The piece he didn't really get into too much is the other half of that strategy is the 5 and the 9 have to have some really bad races, like towards the end of the pack style races. And so with that, I actually do think that Eric Moore, he's a little aggressive. I think he's going to start a little early, but I think this time we may see him kind of just do the Dorsey style and just hang out. But I think Eric Moore may take this one tonight.
Yeah, that's a solid pick, Chris. And you know what I think you're going to see out of Eric tonight? Eric is starting 10th on the qualifying grid. I think you're going to see him try to maximize his points out here tonight. Obviously, he wants to go for the win. That's what all racers want to do. But I think you're going to see that him try to go for not only a lap lead, get that bonus point, but also get the most laps led. But 5 points under this point structure is a lot to overcome. I have to give the coffee cup to Brian Dorsey at the end of Charlotte here.
Yeah, it is a different good stretch. It'll be interesting to see then what the 5 can do. With Dorsey does have that big 5-point lead going into tonight. And so Eric's strategy is almost the same as Bill's, and that is win the race, get the winning race bonus points, lead a lap. And if he can do that, if he can just lead 1 lap and the only lap he needs to lead, which is that final lap, if he can do that and Dorsey finishes 3rd or worse, the 5 will take home the cup. If not, yeah, 5 points is a hard hill, and Dorsey could take it. I think it's going to lead up for some really good racing as the cars are getting lined up here on that start-finish line, as we are just under some pace laps from the final run of Season 1 getting started here. Championship night at the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Star Series.
Championship night, getting ready to start off out here tonight. Patrick Bowler says he's going to stick with Cody Richardson for another win. Terry and Patsy out there, they're on the Dusty bandwagon like I am. We will see in 75 laps who lifts that trophy for the race win, and also the tumbler from Freedom Loving Tumblers sponsoring the championship trophy out here tonight. But let's start your starting grid out here tonight. Cody Richardson, pole out here with Andrew Caldwell to his outside, Dusty Martin, row number 2, Kyle Nadeau to his outside, and Bill Jetty rounding out the top 5.
All right, Kim, going down there after running on our top 10, we got the 00, Jeff Dotson coming in 6, Anthony Hanna in 7, Brian Dorsey, one of the championship contenders, coming in at 8, Andrew Costa at 9, and then rounding out that top 10, Eric Moore, my pick for the championship. Behind him, we got Zachy C in the 24. We got Jerry Isaacs on his outside, followed by Dalton Carter, David Gainforth, David Neese, Paul Turner, Scott Crouch, and Mike Steverson will round out this field championship night as they are all rolling now under green. Get ready to have some fun.
A clear night it is at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we head down the backstretch here. 1 lap to green, iRacing pace car. Getting ready to make that left-hand turn down here. Clear skies and 75 laps of racing ahead of us. Outside my house, I see a lot of lightning, so we will hope to stay connected this entire time But if we do not, we will be back up as soon as we possibly can. iRacing.com pace car puts on that left turn signal. We're getting ready to go racing here from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the final time this season here, Chris. 75 laps. Let's go figure out a championship.
Love it as they're all pacing there. See if Cody gets a good start. He's really good on these starts here. See what happens on this first lap. As he does. He gets a great start. Both the first and second get a good start there. As they're going to be able to kind of clear the 35 there for Andrew Caldwell. That's a great start for our front row. That's a great start for our front row.
Field comes through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Give the first lap lead to Cody Richardson here, followed by Andrew Caldwell. Field comes through turns 3 and lower that. And Kyle Nadeau right to his outside, headed down to turn number 1, lap number 2. Kyle Nadeau with a big run through turn number 2, trying to keep that momentum up. We've talked about it all season long. These are momentum-based cars. Is able to make that pass on the 146 machine, and now sets his sights on the 64.
Yeah, one thing it'd be interesting to see how many cars will move up to the high lane. I remember running a couple hosted races here recently, and all of a sudden I noticed the ARCA cars got real fast on that high lane, which was not something you'd be normal, right? It's hug that blue line and go, but towards the end of tire runs, that top line will get going. We'll see what the tire wear looks like, who can save it. I am hearing around 50 laps, so about 3/4 of the way through this race is where fuel will start to become an issue. So we'll see who can stretch their tires all the way to that mark, or if we're going to see a couple early stops and see if anybody turn this into a 2-stop race, or they try to go all the way to 50, hit that one fuel, get some fresh tires for those final 25 laps.
Yeah, Chris, and that's something really to think about. The past couple of weeks here, we have not seen a caution in the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series races out here. So these guys have to be in the mindset that this could be a green race. Tire conservation, pit strategy, when do you make that pit stop? That is all going to come into play here as these guys head down to turn number 3 for the 4th time tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go find my piece of wood from last night that I had to knock on, now that you've mentioned the cautions again. But no, I think this is a good group of drivers, and it'll be interesting to see how well the playoff drivers here tonight run with each other. Night 1 of the championship week, we saw a little bit of our championship drivers getting within each other and kind of making for some fun racing there, and real excitement for us in there watching the playoff points. So we'll see what happens tonight, but I do anticipate long green flag runs here, as that 197 is all over the 64's back bumper. We'll see if he makes a move or if he's just going to ride for a little bit and just aim and save some tires.
Cody Richardson continuing to set the pace, leading all 5 laps completed right now as he begins lap number 6 here. But a big battle heating up behind these two leaders. Dusty Martin has found his way around Andrew Caldwell, and he has pointed himself into that 3rd position. Dusty Martin running that Bully Dog Coffee Company paint scheme out here with Love a Pit Rescue on the back of that car. Very cool looking car that I think, Chris, you actually had a hand in painting. So very cool paint scheme that the 35 Dusty Martin is running out here tonight and all season long.
Yeah, and it was a fun one to go and paint. And I know that Love a Pit Rescue is a great charity that the Bully Dog Coffee Company is a part of and help support, along with a couple other cars out here running some of those sponsors that the Bully Dog Coffee Company is a part of. But yeah, outside of hanging out with you in a booth, I tend to have a little fun, creativeness, and paint some of these cars out here. So it's always fun to see one of your cars with a paint job on it running as good as it is, as he passes for 2nd place now, and he is on the march towards the front.
Yeah, Dusty Martin finds his way around the 197 to Kyle Nadeau. And we're going to keep a very close eye on 8th and 9th place out here tonight. Brian Dorsey, Eric Moore running right next to each other. We're going to keep an eye on those guys as the race continues to go along. The race right now is for 3rd place between Kyle Nadeau and Andrew Caldwell. These guys head down into turn number 3. Kyle Nadeau is able to find his car and get it pointed into turn number 3, and he's able to hold off Andrew Caldwell, the 146 for the time being. But these guys going down here, these guys are racing really hard early in the race, but nothing too crazy out here just yet, Chris.
Yeah, not too crazy. I don't think they're pushing it too hard, although Cody Richardson's loving it because he was able to pull a gap there almost to a 10th now. And see if they can kind of get single file and line in. But as you start to see these laps tick off, we start getting to the 15 to the 20 laps in, you'll start to see where some tire management played early. And so I wouldn't be surprised if 8 and 9 are just kind of hanging out right now. Dorsey, the 8th and 9th place, the 9 and the 5 are just kind of hanging out, letting their tires come into them and really play that long ball strategy. Although eventually here at 75 laps, it does seem like a long way as the 197 had a big moment there in turn 2. Eventually you got to turn it on. You got to make your way past the 9 and start knocking off some of these other cars in front of you.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're Brian Dorsey, you come in here. We'll pull up the points here real quick to take another glance at it here. If you're Brian Dorsey, all you need to do is finish with Eric Moore in sight of you out here tonight. So Brian Dorsey does not need to do anything special. He just needs to make sure that he finishes with Eric Moore within sight of him. So we will see how Brian Dorsey, you heard him earlier, as one of the leaders gets into the wall. You heard him earlier that he was just going to do what he always does, just kind of ride consistently and find himself there at the end of the evening. And that's what Brian Dorsey is good at, is consistency.
Yeah. Which one of our leaders there got into the wall? I'm trying to look in the cars here. Is it Kyle Nadeau? He was having a couple rough laps there. It's a little early in the run to get some damage because that actually will slow you down at this track. If you get a little bit of that damage, you're going to start to slow down on the straights, and so now it's just bide your time. They do get one fast repair in this series, so late in that race you can go in, get your pit crew to go and fix that damage for you, get you back out and get you back up to full speed. Because yeah, Cody Richardson is still kind of maintaining that, almost to a 10th, 0.7, 0.8 lead over Dusty Martin right now.
Cody Richardson is maintaining a lead, but one guy who is falling is the 146 of Andrew Caldwell. Andrew Caldwell started, help me out, second
place, yeah,
in qualifying, and he is down to 5th right now. But one guy who is on the way forward is Andrew Kotzka, as he goes around him for the 4th position here.
Yeah, and Andrew's one of those that's really good with his tires as well. He's got good, I would say, medium range speed. Haven't really been put in so many scenarios with the long range. I think that's where Cody starts to shine, is that long range speed. I'm wondering here if the 146 starting second and kind of falling back here, he was showing he's got really good short run speed, but started to burn those tires off a little early, and he'll just start to fade to the back. It also maybe don't press it. If they got runs on you, let them go by, hang out, save those tires, and maybe they'll turn up the wicket here once we get past lap 50 and they get that one pit stop. And it is let it hang at that point, because tires won't matter. You only got 20 laps left.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing to keep in mind is that this Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars series does have one attempt at a green-white checkered out here tonight, so we will see if that comes into effect, as Andrew Caldwell, with a big move to the outside right rear quarter panel of the 47 machine, drag race down the backstretch between the 146 and the 47, headed through turn number 3, still not clear on the 47.
Yeah, that was an aggressive move coming out of 2 there, having his bumper up there where Andrew could not come up to the wall and block that off. So we got the battle of the Andrews.
Let's slide back here just a tiny bit, Chris, and do a championship contender update. Brian Dorsey, Eric Moore, and Bill Jetty. Brian Dorsey currently running in the 7th position, Eric Moore running in the 8th position. Only one car apart between those two guys. Brian Dorsey kind of, if I'm Brian Dorsey, I'm feeling fairly comfortable coming in tonight. We said that he's good at consistency, but Eric Moore is able to put up those finishes. I mean, we saw him go to victory lane earlier this season. That's going to be Eric Moore's strength out here tonight, is that he's able to get up there and find his way to victory lane.
Yeah, it's super early in the race, so they may just be kind of riding back here, not really pressing that issue, especially if you were early and you were seeing the front pack all getting slicey-dicey with each other. You definitely don't want to get involved in something that you are not responsible for and just have no option and have to burn that fast repair early. So they may be just riding it out and see what they're doing here, right? For both of them, the strategy is somewhat the same, although slightly different. To your point earlier, for Brian Dorsey, you just got to keep Eric somewhere on your relative. If he's somewhere on your relative, you're fine. Championship yours, unless you're 3rd place and he ends up being 1st. If you're Eric Moore, who is going to go on the pass now, he's going underneath, going into 3 here, see if he can leap this pass. That's what he needs to do, is he needs to have the 9 behind him on his relative and preferably gapped by a couple cars, or he takes the win. That's the strategy there. Is the 28's going to come into this mix as well and see if they can mix it up, as all three championship drivers are just riding right with each other going into 1 and 2.
Yeah, these guys are showing why they're the championship 3 right now. Bill Jetty, Eric Moore, Brian Dorsey, all within camera shot. Jerry Isaacs also playing a role in here, 2, maybe 3 wide. They think better of it, headed down into turn number 3. Brian Dorsey still side by side with the 51 machine, but Bill Jetty on the move as well. We talked earlier this during the pre-race that Bill needs a lot of things to go right for him to have a chance at the championship. As these guys stay side by side, Eric Moore has stepped out to about a 5-car length lead, and he's actually already gotten around that 00 Dodge of Jeff Dotson.
Yeah, and Jerry Isaacs right now is one of his best friends right now. If he can get 2 in front of him, which he does. And right there, you saw the momentum, and I'd be interested to see how many drivers learn this line. I know the 51 was doing it to pass, but he passed on that high line and carried a ton of speed and momentum, both front and backstretch. Now that he's gone back down low, you can see that lane didn't work for him. Brian Dorsey was able to close right back in, and so if he can stay on that high lane, he might have found something there, and I'd be interested to see how many drivers learn that and start creeping their way up the track and can carry that momentum, as the 51's going to do it again, and you'll just see he gets a run just going down that backstretch.
You know what, Chris? Every time that we've come out here, we've seen Charlotte Motor Speedway produce great racing. We saw multiple photo finishes here between Kyle Jetty and Crank Bell. Crank Bell not able to join us out here tonight. And also last season between Brian Dorsey and whoever it was. We've seen 2 photo finishes here at the speedway, so certainly interested to see how this race shakes out, as Bill Jetty now runs behind the 9 car. Not panic mode for Brian just yet, but you just got to make sure that you're relatively close to that 5 machine.
Yeah, you want to stay relatively close. And speaking of not staying relatively close, that 64 has checked out. We're looking at a 2.5-second gap now back to Dusty Martin. So I'm pretty sure some of these drivers are hoping for a caution, as the 28 is painting that yellow Joker front bumper all over the back of Brian Dorsey right there in 1 and 2.
Yeah, and speaking of Cody Richardson really coming on strong as the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Star Series gets ready to make a switch to the Xfinity Series cars next season for September. Going to be interesting to see which one of these guys adapt well to those new cars that we have coming out. Right now all they've got is Chevy Impalas out here, but you're going to have Chevy, Toyota, and Ford all out on the track in the September seasons. So I'm curious to see if maybe Andrew Kotska or Cody Richardson continue to adapt and win races, being that there's going to be a different car in September here, Chris. How big of a factor is that going to play into their championship hunts in September?
I think that plays a big factor. The Xfinity car is a lot different from the ARCA car, right? You get a little bit more power, a little bit more grip. It creates a lot of fun racing, and now you got the dynamic of your different brand. I know aerodynamically they're all the same, but now you're going to have some Toyota Supras out there, the Ford Mustangs, those Chevy Camaros all battling with each other. I'm excited. I think that's a really good change. It's a lot of things that the drivers were excited for. I'm sad to see the ARCA car go. I had a lot of fun in the ARCA car, so next week will actually be the final time the ARCA car makes lap with a Cyber banner under it in an official league session, at least for a season. With our all-star race, but I'm excited to see the Xfinity car. I'm also excited to see how many drivers we have that run the Tuesday or Thursday series all of a sudden magically meet the I-rating capacity and make their way back to the Wednesday series to come race that Xfinity car.
Yeah, absolutely. We ran the Xfinity cars here for a long time before a switch was made, as now we're watching Andrew Kotska, Andrew Caldwell, and Eric Moore. Eric Moore trying to point his 5 machine RST Timberworks into the top 5. That would give him 2 spots over Brian Dorsey. That's not enough to get him the championship just yet, but it's progress.
It is progress. He's got a couple more to go, as he's just going to keep knocking them down, make his way up. I think the magic number, if he doesn't win the race, is like 6. I think that's napkin math. We're probably going to be wrong. It's probably going to be 7, but we're going to go with 6 for a moment. But it's definitely not the gap he's got now. He needs more than what he's got, and keep going. Now, one thing I want to go back, though, is we talk about, not to go away as Andrew Kostic gets up in the wall there. Sometimes that wall going into one just sneaks up on you. The excitement for the next season. As these guys are going to finish out this race, we still got a lot of laps to talk about this season. But that next season, there was one little sneak peek tonight that was posted that I'm excited for next season. With a little preview of someone's bumper that says they're a tough son of a bitch. I'm excited to see that and what that brings for us. Little teaser out there, but next season is shaping up to be a great season, not only in the Wednesday series, but also in the Tuesday and the Thursday series.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it will be very interesting to see how these guys that we've seen so successful over the season, Andrew Kostka, Cody Richardson, Eric Moore, as now Eric Moore finds his way into the position number 4, fighting for position number 3. See how these guys adapt to that. Definitely going to be a change of pace around here, so we'll see if the same guys are fighting for a championship come September. But one thing that we need to think about here, Chris, as well, is that written in the rule book is that the champion of the current season gets advanced and graduated out of the Rising Stars series. So whoever wins the championship tonight will not be participating in the September seasons.
Well, that just is no good for them, is it? No, I'm just kidding. But no, that is one of the rules out there where if you are the champion, it's kind of a twofold. If you're the champion, or if you just have some bad luck come your way, but you've kind of shown that you can run this series really well. And this is a development series, right? And so I know these are the final race. And for those of you that have been with all season long, you've seen them grow. We went into a few where we were caution heavy for a little bit as they got their feet under them, got back and familiar with these cars. You're getting what you're having now, where we have 32 laps of just green flag runs and really close, tight racing. And so it's a really good series to come in, get your feet wet, understand your racecraft, build your racecraft, and then take that to the next level. And that's come jump into trucks on the Tuesday night, or all the way into that Wheels for Warriors Cup Series on Thursday nights, and start to see and really perfect the racecraft there. We've seen great races in all 3 of the series this year. I think at one point we started the racing with the first few, I want to say, Tom, you have to correct me on here, but I think the first 3 or 4 weeks, every night was a different winner, and they were first-time winners. So this was an awesome season, not only in the Rising Stars, the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars series, but in our Tuesday Thunder and the Wheels for Warriors Thursday. As some of the drivers are already starting a little pit strategy here with the 00 coming down pit road.
Yeah, I think you're right, Chris. I think we went 7 races in this season before we had our first repeat winner out here as Jeff Dotson, that 00 Dodge, comes down on pit road, and we will still keep an eye on as these guys start to approach the halfway point of this race. If you're Cody Richardson right now, you've got a 4.5 second lead almost. If I'm Cody Richardson, I'm coming down and just kind of managing this lead, to control the second half of the race as well. So be interesting to see when Cody Richardson comes down. Cody's certainly come on strong the second half of the season. We'll see what his pit strategy is, as it looks like Jeff Dotson, that 00 Dodge, is the first one and only one so far to be on pit road.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cody Richardson. I'm not anticipating him coming in until his crew chief tells him he's about ready to run out of fuel. He's still running really good times. A couple laps ago, Eric Moore was actually the fastest car on track. Don't look now. He's moved himself into second place at this point, and Dorsey is running in 6th. So now if I'm Dorsey, now I'm getting a little nervous. Now it is time to press that up. Still a big gap, 4.5 seconds. But Eric Moore is definitely a man on a mission right now, and he has turned the wicket on, and see if he can close that gap before we get into these pit stops. Close that in, get a really good pit stop probably, and just continue that drive towards the front if we stay green all the way.
Yeah, and if I'm Brian Dorsey, if I'm Eric Moore, if I'm Bill Jetty, I have to be conservative in thinking that this race is going to run green, and that I need to manage that gap. Right now, Eric Moore about 4.5 seconds back off the race leader, Cody Richardson. Brian Dorsey about 7 seconds back, so about a 2.5, maybe 3 second gap between Brian Dorsey, Eric Moore. Brian Dorsey needs to make sure that he's able to manage that gap and keep it within maybe a second or two or even three of Eric Moore as they start to come into the pit cycles here. You know, if these guys go into green flag pit stops, that's going to stretch the field out, and the possibility for a caution drops drastically.
Yes, and we've started to see now some more here, mid-30s, as the 197 is going to come in. And it sounded like one more is going to be coming in this lap. I think it was the 69 is what I heard is also going to be coming down.
Sliding back here a tiny bit, we got big battles on the speedway through turns 1 and 2 right now as Brian Dorsey is under fire from Dusty Martin, Bill Jetty, Dalton Carter, a newcomer out here tonight, Todd Neese. Todd Neese making his debut in the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Star Series, having a quiet night, currently running in the 8th position as Bill Jetty puts Dusty Martin under fire. Bill Jetty having a solid night out here. Like we said earlier, he needs a lot of things to go right in order for him to have a chance at the championship, and he's certainly putting himself in the right position if that were to happen. But these guys continue to battle side by side, door to door, out of turn number 2.
Yeah, and if you're the number 5 right now, that is not what you wanted to see on your relative. You had a point there where you didn't even see Dorsey on your relative. Now that he's made it past those cars there all of a sudden he's back on his relative. We'll see some pit flag or pit stops kind of sort some pieces out here, but Eric is still on a mission. He has closed that down. He's now under there for a minute there. He was under 4 seconds on the gap to the lead.
Yeah, Chris, he's about a half a 10 to a 10. Maybe
well, here comes the leader. The leader just came across. His crew chief just came on, told him pit now, pit now. So 64 is coming in. I would imagine the 5's going to stay out and get that bonus point.
Yeah, absolutely. As Eric Moore comes across the 64 machine. Eric Moore with the bonus point, so cut that 5-point lead down to 4 points right now. So that could very well come into effect at the end of the evening. But if Eric Moore pits this lap or next lap, I'm very curious as to what Brian Dorsey does. You know, Brian Dorsey has a little bit of insurance. Does he decide to use that and maybe try to stay out to gain an extra point? Or what does Brian Dorsey do here? But only time will tell as Eric Moore is now headed onto pit road. We'll keep a very close eye on Brian Dorsey as Brian Dorsey stays out on track, but he is not going to lead this lap. I believe Andrew Kotska will be the leader on this lap.
I'm surprised by that. So either the fuel burn is a little bit faster than what we were thinking, as they were about 42. We were hearing about 50 to 53 laps was the pit window here. So this is about 10 laps early. So either the calculations, their burn off is a little bit faster. If I'm the 5 though, I would have stayed out. I would have tried to keep that going into where you're basically, you know, if you have to pit, you're out of fuel, the 9 has to pit because he's probably going to be out of fuel. Because now at this point, if Andrew Costa comes down in any time, and as long as he doesn't ride it all the way out, that number 9 is going to get that extra point, and we're right back up to a 5-point gap again. So a little surprised by that, but again, maybe our fuel calculations that we saw during practice were a little bit short, and the window was actually anywhere from 40 to 50, not 50 to 53.
Yeah, we're going to be keeping a very close eye on the race leaders here. See when Andrew Kotza comes down. If I'm Brian Dorsey, I'm wishing that 47 would come down 5 laps ago. Let me get a bonus point. Let me increase my points lead back to 5 points over Eric Moore, as Eric Moore cut it from 5 to 4 points as he was able to lead a lap under green flag pit stop that cycle there. But Chris, we are 2, maybe 3 wide out of turn number 2. Championship contender Bill Jetty, previous race leader Cody Richardson on fresh tires, and Kyle Nadeau. These guys are all battling hard.
Yeah, as the 9's just trying to stay out of their way as they got fresh tires. It's surprising how fast that they will close up on you. I'll tell you right now, if I'm the 9, I'm telling my spotter, hey, go find the spotter of the 47, ask him what his Venmo account is, and tell him I'll slip him some money. Go take a pit stop for me, please.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
And here he comes. The crew chief just came across for the 9. The 9 and the 28 crew chiefs have just told him, you need to be coming in.
All right, so we'll see if Brian Dorsey is able to get a lap, get a bonus point as he comes down here, followed by Bill Jetty coming down onto pit road. Looks like clean green stops for these guys as the field races around them. we'll see where this shakes out. You know, these guys were a couple of laps behind Eric Moore in that 5 machine. That could allow Eric to come up. But Chris, as we approach the halfway point of this race here, what do we do at the halfway point of the race? You know what we do.
We give away discount codes.
We give away discount codes. Coupon code Loose Lug. Loose Lug, all one word, for $3 off your order at BullyDogCoffeeCompany.com. Head on over to our friends Patrick and his team over there at Bully Dog Coffee Company, returning for a second season here at the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network, Cyber Thunder Racing League. Looking forward to that season, but we have this season out here tonight to finish out. But coupon code Loose Lug at BullyDogCoffeeCompany.com is going to get you $3 off your order over there. I know Chris has ordered his Best Friends blend. I think Crank ordered his Best Friends blend, and a few other drivers out here receiving a pound of coffee throughout the course of the season. What a pretty cool promotion that Patrick's had going on, getting his product out there and allowing some of our drivers to have their coffee.
Yeah, and he actually awards the winners of the race with those Best Friend blends as well, or I think they get actually the choice. So really cool promotion that he does for our drivers out there. And based on my scoring, I think the 9 got a lap led there. So I think that lead gap is back up to 5. Because I think the 47 came down 1 lap before. Because as they were coming on to pit road, the 47 was coming off of pit road. So the 9 might have gotten a lap there.
I believe you are correct, as we were following Brian Dorsey last time by, and I believe he came across the line in the number 1 position. So that lead is going to go back up to 5 points for Brian Dorsey. Is now Zach Chahalis. Zach Chahalis had a rough start to his season as he's on the hunt from Cody Richardson right now. Zach Chahalis missed a good portion of the season, took himself out of the championship hunt, but Zach back out here running the Rainbow Warrior machine out here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Good to see the 24 car back out here. You know, I think he would have been a very serious championship contender if he was able to compete in the full season. But Zach, nonetheless, coming down to pit road this time.
He almost got ran over there coming into pit road. A little bit of a high entry, but it is good to see Zach back out there, back out on iRacing and getting everything situated with what he saw down in South Georgia. We got other storms rolling in right now, but hopefully nothing kicks up like what we saw earlier this year. Just a little bit of a tropical storm. It's apparently raining outside right now. I'm locked in a basement. Tom doesn't let me leave a basement, so I don't know what the weather is. So with that, Kyle's going to cycle back to the front now. But you'll notice off those pit stops, the 197 had an amazing stop, or Cody just got stopped with traffic or something. I'm looking at their pit times, and the 197 did have about a half a second faster pit stop, but he closed. He had a 4 or 5 second lead. Cody Richardson did before we hit the pit stops. That's now closed down to 1, but the bigger number is that number 3. That is a 10-second gap. And there is only 1 lap between them on tires. So that's a lot of work for Eric to kind of climb back up there. But right now he is sitting with a 5-position lead over the number 9 of Brian Dorsey. So Brian Dorsey's got some work to do, especially with Bill Jetty sitting there right there with him as we are 24 to go. I think the gloves have come off here. The number 9's got some work to do to really secure this in. Now, one piece as a reminder, if we go to a tie, the tie for the points is going to go to the top driver who had the top finishing position during our chase run. And Dorsey does have that win, round number 3 of the playoffs. So that is a little bit of a little chip he's got in his pocket right now that he's got out there. If there's a tie that happens with him and Eric Moore, he does have the highest finishing position out of the playoff run. That would award him the championship. See if I can find some battles here on the track. As I'm going to go to the 9. We'll see where's that. As my co-host has stepped away real quick for some beer and hot dogs because I'm hungry, so I'm ready for some food to come in. So Dorsey here, so we're able to gap a little bit. Dorsey was getting a little bit of pressure there from Bill. He seems to have gapped that a little bit. let's see here. Let's go Nice and Paul Turner. Paul Turner having a really good run right now, sitting up in the top 5. He's one of those drivers that's kind of always up there. Tonight, he is not the fastest chicken in the South. Looks like he is Laughing Clown Malt Liquor. He's going to let the 47 go underneath him and make the pass there. Just looking at the scoreboard as I'm going to keep it on some of these exciting racings here. Cody Richardson's pulled back away, so everyone else is probably looking for a caution at this point. And Eric Moore, he's making that run, but he is starting to get some pressure. It's the 61 and the 47 are closing that gap. They're starting to catch him in there, especially with Paul Turner coming in and that 00. Jeff Dotson sitting there right behind him.
Yeah, we're pulling ourselves back together here, Chris. Eric Moore, 7 seconds behind Kyle Nadeau right now. He's in a position that he can't really gain anything, but he is looking for Brian Dorsey to possibly lose positions, as Brian Dorsey is being hounded by the 28, the 00 Dodge, and also David Gainforth. So Eric Moore not able to do anything at the moment with only 20 laps remaining here to move forward. So his best hope currently is that Brian goes under Hunt from the 28, the 00, or the 35 of Dusty Martin.
Yeah, and I know Eric Moore's probably talking to his teammates right now. He's probably talking to 35 to Dusty Martin saying, you got any speed in your car? Can you close that gap? It's only 4 seconds. Can you do anything? Can you put pressure up there with Dorsey? And then he's also probably talking to Paul Turner at the 4 saying the same question. You got any speed? Don't let the 9 pass you, right? Let's work, help me out here, find your speed, see if you can maintain that gap, as Dorsey is starting to close in now on that group there. So he is closing the gap on Paul Turner, but he does have Bill Jetty all over his back bumper right now.
He does have Bill Jetty all over the back bumper of that number 9 machine. But one guy that I want to keep an eye on here, Chris, is the 146 of Andrew Caldwell. Andrew started second on the qualifying grid out here tonight. Currently runs in the 12th position. Rough night for the 146. He's lost 10 spots over the course of the race here.
Yeah, and I think we saw that earlier. He pushed it really hard early. He is trying to try that high line, little high there. I think he's got a little bit of wall rub, and that's what's just taking him off the pace. So he started really strong, showed that short run speed, but I think he got a little bit of wall damage earlier, and that just kind of set that momentum back. And he was trying that high line there in 3 and 4, and it looked like he just keeps saying hi to that wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Rough night for the 146 out here. Solid start to his night, but if it were to end right now, not a great night for the 146, but we still got 15 laps of racing to go next time by on the season. 15 laps remaining in the season, as now Kyle Nadeau, considerably slower right now than Andrew Kotska, Eric Moore, and also David Nice. You got to go all the way back down to, let's say, maybe about 9th position before you find somebody who's running the times that second place is running right now. So maybe a possibility that Eric and Andrew Kotska can catch second place.
Yeah, and so with that, we just had a big playoff moment there from a point perspective, as 2 playoff moments have just happened. So just a couple of laps ago, Andrew Kotska made his way around Eric Moore, so that closed the gap. And just like I was saying, Dorsey was hunting it down. Dorsey has now got in front of Paul Turner, so there is only 1 car splitting Eric and Dorsey. So with 14 laps to go, if I'm Dorsey, I'm feeling pretty good right now, as the Cody Richardson's checked out. So I think the opportunity of winning this race, unless we get a late caution, might be out the window. So Dorsey just needs to play it safe, play it clean, keep that number 4 or that number 5, the guy running in the 4th spot, in his relative, and he will take home the championship of the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Star Series.
Yeah, as we continue to follow these guys around here, we'll keep a very close eye on, as Cody Richardson, we haven't said his name in a little bit. Cody Richardson has extended his lead to about a 6-second gap right now, but Kyle Nadeau is quickly falling. I think at this rate that Eric Moore will be able to get to the 197. I don't know if he's going to be able, I don't know if that's going to be enough for him. He's going to have to get around both the 47 and the 197 for that to come into effect as far as the points go.
Yeah, and hopefully his spotter's not telling him what's happening on the track right now. But for 3 laps in a row, the number 9 has been the fastest car on the track. So Brian Dorsey has turned it on. 12 laps to go.
And an entire season comes down to this here, Chris, with just over 10 laps remaining here. Brian Dorsey battles David Nies. Now Brian Dorsey finds himself into the top 5. That's going to extend Brian Dorsey's point lead over a little bit. At this point, if you're Eric Moore and Brian Dorsey's running 5th, I don't think there's anything you can do aside from win the race that's going to get you the championship.
Yeah, at this point, that is it for Eric Moore. It is hopefully some type of caution comes out at this point. I don't know how you're going to close in 11 seconds, 10 seconds, and 10 laps. That's a fall or big task there unless Cody gets into the wall, which we have seen. We have seen some of the leaders in some prior races. Final couple laps, get up into that wall and make the ending a little bit more interesting. But yeah, if you're Eric Moore, it's not time to hang the towel up just yet. You still got 10 laps left to go. See what you can continue to do. Press it. But winning right now is your only option to stop the 9 from taking home this championship.
So let me pose this question, Chris. You just said that winning is your only opportunity, right? You've got 10 laps to go. You're about 10 and a half, maybe 11 seconds behind. I guess at this point you want to see a caution, but you know how these restarts can go. They can quickly turn the race upside down. That can almost be a double-edged sword.
It can be, but if I'm the 5, that's the risk I'm willing to take at this point. Because you still get that fast repair and the one chance at a green-white checkered. I don't know the 5's not wishing that a caution comes out, and it's because of the 9 right now. I know he would like to race this thing out, but that is what he is probably hoping for right now, is some type of caution that's going to close that gap up, that then gives him an opportunity to really press it and see if he can make a last-ditch effort there and make that run towards the front.
Yeah, as we're riding on board here with the number 9 machine, Brian Dorsey with 8 laps remaining here on the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series season. Brian Dorsey has to like what he sees out his windshield right now. He sees that 5 right in front of him. Both of them got a lap led, so that 5-point gap that we were talking about at this top of the hour still stands. Not much Eric Moore can do right here except go out there and win the race, or hope that Brian Dorsey has some sort of misfortune and loses a couple of positions. But Brian Dorsey, very fast on the speed charts right now, about a 10th faster than Eric Moore here. The past couple of laps, he ran a 280 to Eric Moore's 321 on the speed charts. Brian Dorsey, fastest car on the track last time.
Now.
Yeah, and you can see that gap visibly closing on the speedway as these guys come out of turn number 4. Cody Richardson, on the other hand, is going to be looking for the high 5 next time by. 5 laps remaining on the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series season here, Chris.
Yeah, it's awesome to see 5, and he comes across here with 5 to go. This season comes to an end. This has been a great season. These guys have put up great races week in and week out. It's been a lot of fun. I know Cody Richardson there was hoping that he would have had a couple more earlier runs and earlier success. He would have been in this championship mix for sure with how hard he's come on in the last little runs there. And I do know he runs a special paint job, and it's been fun to get that paint job in the winner circle there with the Miami Coalition Against Breed Specific legislation that he runs in partnership with the Bully Dog Coffee Company. That's a great charity out in the state of Florida, and I would make sure that you guys head over there and check them out with the Miami Coalition Against Breed Specific legislation, as their whole mission in life is to educate and not discriminate. Great sponsor, and it'll be good to see that sponsor hopefully make its way back to the winner circle tonight, as he is in a mix of cars right now, but I think he's just taking it easy, keeping it nice and going, as he's going to come to 3 to go out of this one.
3 laps to go this time by, but big battles in front of your championship points leaders. Eric Moore is able to close that gap from 5 now down to 4, maybe 3 car lanes headed into turn number 3 between him, Kyle Nadeau, and Andrew Kotska. Out of turn number 4, Eric Moore takes a look on the inside of the 197 machine, that's going to help him, but that's not going to be enough. With 3 laps remaining here, he's going to need some more help.
Yeah, he's going to need a lot of help with Dorsey there. He was able to gap Dorsey a little bit, put a car in between him at this point, but that's a lap car in between them, so it doesn't really help him there.
Oh, well, never mind. Eric Moore comes around. Cody Richardson gets the popsicle sticks up in the air here. Next time by, we're going to see the final white flag of the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series out here tonight here, Chris. And we're going to take a couple of months off, and we'll be back the week after Labor Day as we begin to think about our September seasons. But we have a championship here to figure out here tonight. Side by side, door, quarter, not clear, headed down the backstretch for the 5 and the 47.
Yeah, and I stand corrected. That 987 is on the lead lap. They're all running new paint jobs for the final race tonight, so hard to stay up with who's there, but still don't think that's going to be enough. Even if he's going to look under Andrew Costa there, I think this is going to seal the fate here as we are white flag. 1 lap to go.
All right, white flag this time out over the speedway. Cody Richardson heads down the backstretch for the final time around Charlotte Motor Speedway. The beast of the Southeast, Cody Richardson. Dominant performance out here tonight, leading 68 of the 75 laps out of turn number 4. Give the black and white silk to Cody Richardson. At the start-finish line, he's got enough of a lead that he even does a little bit of a show before that. But we're going to back this up at the start-finish line. You got to go 6 seconds back. Brian Dorsey, we're going to do napkin math as Chris called it before. We're going to run points here real quick, but I strongly think that Brian Dorsey is going to be your champion here in just a few moments. We will confirm that in a moment or two.
Trying it right now. Now, do we want to mix it up and say that there was a little bit of 64 unclaimed caution? No, I'm just kidding.
Cody Richardson comes around here to the start-finish line. He's going to start burning that 64 machine down, but joining him out in the celebrations out here tonight is going to be the number 9 as Chris continues to rapidly type on his keyboard. We're waiting on final confirmation from Race Control that the number 9, Brian Dorsey, is the 2021 Season 1 Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series champion.
Early math is going to tell me that Brian Dorsey is our champion by 2 points. They both led a lap, and they both would have been incident-free races. So I believe our Bully Dog Coffee Company unofficial results, I'm going to say it's official. I typed the numbers in. Brian Dorsey's going to take home the championship.
As we try to gather the top 3 finishers out here tonight, and also your championship driver, Brian Dorsey, in that number 9 machine. All these guys staying out on track here. We're going to catch up in just a moment with your top 3 finishers and your champion in the Cyber Thunder Post Race Show. We'll be back in just a moment.
All right. Believe we are all set now as the final race has ended. We got our 3rd place finisher up here, Andrew Kotska. Andrew, great run tonight. and great strong finish to the season here. How was tonight? What'd you think?
Yeah, it was a great night out there. I mean, I didn't qualify too strong, so I was starting a little bit back in the field, but it was a great run out there. Lots of great racing all throughout the night. So yeah, great race, everybody. No cautions, so take it.
I'll take that every night. We get an hour-long race or 40, 50-minute race. That's a great night. No cautions. But hey, you guys have been putting that up week in and week out here in the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Star Series. What do you think kind of leads to that? How was your first? I don't know if this was your first season, but what did you think of the season overall out here this year?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. There was a lot of great racing all throughout the fields. Like every single week out here, it was a lot of fun racing, and I mean, I really enjoyed it. Can't wait for next year to start. I hear we have some changes coming, and I'm excited for those changes.
We do have some changes coming. I'm excited to see how well you take to those changes with a new car and everything, and some new tracks being thrown at you guys. I know your blue and yellow paint's probably saying, hopefully there's a road course. I'll see what happens there for you. But before I let you go, anyone you want to thank, say hi to, shout out?
First of all, thank Bully Dog for supporting the league here. They've been a great sponsor all season long here. Everybody buy their coffee; it's delicious. You, Chris, Tom, thanks for putting this all together. It's been an amazing season here, and I can't wait for next season to start.
Awesome, man. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you next season, and then catching up with you later, man.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, we're going to keep moving down here to our second place finisher on the night. One of the playoff drivers made a good run at it. Eric, Chris, and Tom up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I know you came up a little bit short on the championship run, but second place finish tonight at Charlotte, still a pretty good finish. What was tonight like for you? What were you thinking there towards the end? Do you think you had a chance to maybe close that gap, or are you hoping for that yellow flag to come out?
No, I don't have any short run space. I definitely didn't want no yellow flag. I like the fact it stayed green. I just needed a few more people to stay in between me and Brian. But props to him. Big congrats to Brian. Ever since I've been in Cyber, I ran with him, and he's always been a top notch competitor. Never have any run-ins with him at all. So if anybody's gonna win it other than me, other than Cole, obviously his teammate, but I'd rather be Brian.
Now midway through the run though, I was on the broadcast saying, all right, Eric's telling Dusty, go find some speed and pass Brian, and then probably telling Paul, find some speed and don't let him pass. Was I pretty accurate in those comments?
Yes, very accurate. I was telling Paul, I said, do everything you can not to let him by. And Paul, he is on a little bit older tires, and he came up track a little bit, and he said Brian was able to get underneath him. And same Dusty, he burned his stuff up a little bit in the earlier part of the race, so he kind of fell behind from the start. So
Yeah,
but it's all right. I mean, it was a fun. It's a fun season for sure.
No, for sure, man. And it's been fun, ready to watch, watching you every night and coming on strong, kind of being that silent competitor, right? And always being up towards the front there. You looking forward to season 2?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Starting in September, I believe. I'll definitely be back out here.
Perfect. Well, we're looking forward to see what you can make happen in season 2. See if you can close that gap, get that championship on you. Now, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, say hi, do shout outs to?
Definitely everybody at the Long Shot. Without them helping me, I definitely wouldn't be running second in this championship. Jade, obviously, he's the head guy over at Long Shot. RST Timberworks is on the car. You guys up in the booth, Chris, for being admin. I know it's can't be an easy job to do, dealing with all of us crybabies. And Tom, he's dealt with the whole league crying, so big props to you guys.
I appreciate it. I'm just glad tonight we didn't have any of those admin flags come out as
Yeah, Cole wasn't here, so we didn't have to worry about that.
Don't worry about that. No. Well, awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the second place, I guess, in the race and in the championship. Still nothing to shy away from. So congrats on that, and looking forward to seeing you in season 2. And then good luck tomorrow night, as I know you are one of the top 4 in the knockout round. So see if you can carry that momentum and hopefully get a win tomorrow night. That would really lock in the championship, but I bet you'd be happy with a top 3 finish tomorrow night as well, as long as you're the first of the top championship drivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Well, again, good luck tomorrow night, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, we're going to keep this ball rolling here, and we're going to go to our race winner. I'm going to save the championship driver for Tom to do the interview. I'll finish out with Cody here. Cody, I'm just going to use the photo from last week. We cool with that?
I mean, yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, if we keep meeting like this, so people are going to start talking.
It's true. This is how rumors start.
It's very true.
So what was your plan tonight? We saw you had some good gaps there, and then we saw the guys kind of close in, but then kind of gap away. Were you just tire management the whole night, and that's how you were able to keep that gap?
Yeah, absolutely. In the testing that we did, there was like a lap fall off after 10 laps or so. So it was all just trying to manage that and see what you could do. I think Kyle pit a little bit sooner than I did, about 5 laps or so, and he almost had the undercut on me. Was lucky to be able to actually use Brian as a pick to keep him behind me, though, and just drive away. Fresher tires helped me do that once they got back up to temperature, and just keep putting that gap in and trying to save the tires as much as I could. Once I got 3 or 4 seconds on it, it was just maintaining it, and then it just seemed like everybody kept dropping back further. Maybe I was pushing harder than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. We saw you had a great start, right? So right off the bat, we're able to get out in front and go from there. So was it pretty exciting to see them all getting a little racy behind you, and you were able to just continue to gap and gap and gap?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kyle was on me the first 5 or 6 laps, and I mean, just holding it 2/10, 3/10 of a second back, getting back to a 10th, looking inside. And then they just started getting racy, and I was like, oh, thank God. That is exactly what I need. And like I said, was able to get that second gap on them. I think they kind of lost the draft a little bit, and I was able to just keep pulling away little by little.
Well, there we go, man. Well, congrats on first place. Looking forward to season 2. You going to join us for season 2 and see if you can make that championship run?
I think I'm going to have to. I came in a little bit late here and came on strong in the playoffs whenever I wasn't a playoff contender. So let's see if next season, if I can come in a little early, become a playoff contender and keep going strong there too.
Well, I am excited to see that happen and see that momentum for season 2. Before we let you go, I will do one piece before you do your shout outs and your amazing ad reads. I've talked to you so many times, I may have picked up a few things. I look forward to you go back, watch the stream, tell me how I did on some of my ad reads tonight, but we'll shoot it over to you for any thank you shout outs and your famous ad reads that you get to do.
Well, thank you, Chris. I will say thanks to Patrick at Bully Dog Coffee Company for letting me get the MCA BSL paint scheme on my car and get it in victory lane for the 3rd time this season. Super happy about that. Go check them out. It's a great organization. Thanks to my friends and family that are watching the stream and everything. And also make sure you check out Into the Apex podcast. We're just live at the 6 Hours of the Glen. Go check it out, intotheapex.com. Here I'm talking about getting to meet Jimmy Johnson and some people with some interesting sunburns and designs on their back around that whole situation as well. So go check it out, intotheapex.com.
Was that Tyler that I saw on Twitter?
No. Although for the right amount of money, you might be able to get that to happen.
Well, we're working on a budget out here tonight, Cody.
I'll see if I can talk him to. I believe we are going to be at the IndyCar Xfinity Cup Series triple header, so we'll see if I can talk him into anything there.
Did Cody just do a read for somebody's OnlyFans account? Is that what I heard?
No comment.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll let you go. Into the Apex. It is a great podcast. I listen to it on my drive into work when I do have to go into the office. It is great. So again, congrats. 3rd win on the season. Looking forward to seeing you in season 2 and making a full run. Hopefully that championship starting in September.
Wonderful. Thanks for having us, guys.
All right. Thank you.
All right, and I have made the long trek down here to Turn 1 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to catch up with Brian Dorsey in that number 9 machine. Brian Dorsey, you are a champion at Cyber Thunder Racing League in the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series. Congratulations. How are you feeling after 75 laps here tonight and an entire season of phenomenal performances?
And it feels awesome, but I'm glad it's over. Eric definitely worried me there during that race, but I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, and you know what, Brian? One thing that we talked about throughout all the course of the season is that Eric's strength was that he was able to find the magic rabbit in his hat and perform when he needed to, but your strength was consistency. You're coming home in 5th place out here tonight with a 5-point lead headed in tonight. You got that lap lead. Eric got that lap lead, so that canceled out. So consistency was certainly one of the factors that helped you win the championship out here tonight. Talk us through that entire season. Halfway through the season, did you see yourself lifting up the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series Championship trophy here tonight at Charlotte?
I did not. I did not even know if I was going to run the full season. I was going to try to dedicate most of my time to the Tuesday and Thursday series. Work commitments kind of changed throughout the year, so I was able to focus more time on it. And then as I got in it and got deeper in the season, then I was like, I'm going to make a run for it. I know last year I made a run for it. I came up third. So let's take a nice shot at it.
Yeah, and you know what, Brian? And so we talked about earlier in the race here tonight during the pre-race, during happy hour, about your sim racing accomplishments. And you said earlier here tonight, just kind of being in contention for the championship is one of the highlights of your sim racing career, so to speak. Where does the championship now rank on that list that you have?
No, it's at the top. Anytime you can get in the league with good guys. I mean, this whole series from every night of the week, they're all great racers. They're clean racers. They're fun to race with. So anytime you can win a championship with a bunch of good guys, that is a great accomplishment. And that put it at number one.
Put it at number one. Well, hey, you know what, Brian? You were going to hold that freedom-loving Tumblers Bully Dog Coffee Company championship trophy high, and you're going to hold it in a respectable position. You're coming out of here with the championship out here tonight. Congratulations on a huge race out here tonight and a phenomenal season. It's certainly good to see you coming out here, and maybe a little bit of a sleeper. I don't think enough guys gave you enough credit earlier in the season. We saw you win that race at Homestead with a 2-tire strategy. You were able to find your way forward with a couple of quick calls, but ultimately you were able to run a phenomenal season and come away with the championship here at Charlotte. 75 laps in the books, and Brian Dorsey is going to be winning the championship. Brian, before we let you go, anybody you want to thank, family, friends, sponsors on the side of that 9 machine that's allowing you to come out here and celebrate a championship here tonight?
First, let's thank the Bully Dog Coffee Company for putting on, sponsoring this league. We appreciate them, allowing us to race, and hopefully we all represent that company well. Appreciate Chris for putting on this league. He's an excellent admin. Enjoyed having him as admin. It was a great league. Tom, you're great league. And like I said, I enjoy everybody I race with, and always thinking about Crank. I know he's not here. I hadn't seen him. He's been in and out, but always have him in our thoughts and prayers, and hoping he continues to get better. Look forward to next season.
Well, I can certainly duplicate those sentiments that you just said there, Brian. Chris has done a phenomenal job here with this season, and we're certainly keeping Crank in our thoughts and our prayers. Crank is posting a couple of teasers. Crank is back on the internet, so that's a dangerous thing. But Brian, once again, congratulations on a championship out here tonight. We're going to kick you out of here, let you go celebrate with your friends, your families, and your teammates on your first championship here tonight. Congratulations once again, Brian.
Appreciate it. Go Lightning.
All right, and as these guys begin, the fans start to file their way out of Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll see the top running order out here tonight. Chris, before we go into the finishing order out here tonight, what a season this has been. From the start of February, we started with Crank out here. Crank had to step away for medical conditions, and he's made a full recovery, and he posted a screenshot earlier today, maybe some teasers of his upcoming schedule. Certainly cool to see that. But John Diekman, I believe we had Coleridge in here, and Matt Chontosh as well, all helping us carry the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars series from Daytona to Charlotte. What a season it's been.
Yeah, it's been an amazing season. It was fun to be race control for these guys. This is a good group of guys out here that really perfected their racecraft. They were really courteous with each other, really raced each other the way you want to see people race each other. They're very competitive. We saw it tonight. They're going to get all over each other's back bumpers, but not in a way to put someone in the wall, right? They're going to race courteously and respectably, but also aggressively, and make their way up to the front as stuff is falling in my broadcast booth on me. But it was a great season. I'm little sad to move away and move over to the Tuesday night series and take what I've learned here and go torment now everyone in the truck series. But I know moving forward, as we look forward to next season, David Gainforth is going to come in here. He's got some great ideas that's going to continue the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Star Series. We talked about it. Next week's going to be the final run in the ARCA, right? We're going to move to the All-Star Series where the top 15 in points from this series are locked in, and everyone else from our Tuesday and Thursday series got to race their way in to race with the ARCA guys. Generally a Rising Star Series, driver wins that race, so we'll see what happens as we are under the lights at Las Vegas. But I know we'll bid the ARCA car a good farewell, and we'll welcome in that Xfinity car as we move into Season 2. I'm excited for it. I hope you welcome me back up into the booth. I've had a lot of fun being up here and stretching out what the broadcasting will be and all my opportunities that I'll say out there and have some fun with you up in the booth. So I'm looking forward to continuing this and moving into Season 2.
Yeah, Chris, and you know, this was your first season running the series as an admin. I've seen huge gains with the Wednesday series with you at the helm of it, and we're going to pass that torch off to David Gainforth for the September season, which will begin the week after Labor Day. But also, another thing that I wanted to bring up, how about that partnership that we had with Patrick all season long? What a pleasure it was to work with Patrick and all the companies that he allowed us to work with Love a Pit Rescue, Joe Frazier, Freedom Loving Tumblers, who's sponsoring the championship trophy. They really put us in connection with some really great people throughout the course of the season, and we're looking to see what the September seasons will bring. But what a phenomenal season this has been, both for Bully Dog and Cyber here together as a crew.
Yeah, it was a great partnership, and again, Bully Dog Coffee Company offering out the coffee for the stage winner or for the race winners and just being really involved and really engaged with these drivers out here, reaching out to them, talking to them, giving them opportunities, right, to kind of learn that side of iRacing, right? Usually you think that's just the admins up here dealing with all the different sponsorships and kind of putting those pieces together. Patrick had, a couple cars out racing out during the season, so he was really engaging the drivers and helping them kind of learn that side of iRacing. But again, his engagement, offering up the discount codes every week for the fans that watch us. Again, if you have not taken advantage, Loose Lugs, go get yourself a discount. Go get yourself some of the coffee. I know he's got a whole bunch of different blends too that they're working on. I'm just a big fan of the Best Friend blend, but make your way over to that website, order up some coffee, support Patrick and his company, Bully Dog Coffee Company, the same way that they've supported us. It's been a great partnership, and I'm really looking forward to that continuing into Season 2 in September.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to that. The week after Labor Day, I believe that's going to be September 11th, will be the start of the 2021 Season 2 schedules out here. But Chris, let's run through the top finishing order out here tonight. Cody Richardson, Eric Moore, Andrew Kotska. We just talked to those guys. Those are your podium finishers out here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kyle Nadeau comes home in 4th place. Brian Dorsey holds the championship trophy in 5th.
Yep, and then rounding out the top 10, Bill Jetty made a big run at it. He was making the run as fast as he can. Just came up a little bit short there. He'll finish in 6th. With Neese coming in, David Neese coming in 7th, followed by Jerry Isaacs and then Paul Turner. Dusty Martin started strong. We saw a little bit, probably aggressive tire run there. He's going to round out the top 10 there. And then as we move into the 11 spot, Mike Steverson. Then we got the 00, Jeff Dodson. Andrew Caldwell, another one, started out really strong. Started out 2nd, right? Started on the outside row. He's going to finish 13th, so a little bit of a rough night for Andrew there. And then followed behind him, we got Anthony Hanna, Scott Crouch, David Gainforth out there running some laps, Zach Chahalis, Zachy C, and then our last car there who had a really rough night, Dalton Carter, finishing out in the 18th spot. Great racing tonight, though. Flag to flag, no cautions. You couldn't ask for anything more tonight.
You couldn't ask for anything more tonight, and you really couldn't ask for anything more throughout the course of the season. Phenomenal racing that we saw all season long. But Chris, before we head out of here, I want to give a special shout out to you. I want to give a special shout out to John Diekman, who is usually hanging out in the YouTube chat box. He's not out there tonight. Crank Bell as well for starting the season with us. Matt Chontosh for helping us get through one of those races, whatever race that was, and also Coleridge, Finnemore. I don't think I'm missing anybody, but Chris, phenomenal season. Thank you for all your efforts here, and holding and hosting a great Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series season out here this season. You've done an excellent job throughout the course of the season, and I'm looking forward to seeing what September brings once David Gainforth takes the torch.
No, for sure. Thank you, Tom, for the opportunity and putting this whole group together. Right, none of this is possible without you and your mastermind behind Cyber Thunder Racing, and then just given the opportunity. I appreciate being welcomed and what I can do to help grow this group and grow these races, and then that opportunity to be in the broadcast booth. But none of that'd be possible without you and your support and encouragement. So big thank you to you.
Hey, well, you know what? This is what I do for fun. So we're going to head out of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brian Dorsey celebrates down in Victory Lane. Believe he's popping the champagne. He's joining the crew over here, and we're going to pop a bottle with him as well. But congratulations to Brian Dorsey on the championship. Congratulations to Cody Richardson getting tonight's race win out here. Very close call for Eric Moore. But that's going to do it for the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series. Thank you to everybody out in YouTube land that tuned in every single week. Make sure you guys subscribe, get notifications every time we go live. We'll be back bringing all this action back here in September with the Xfinity cars. But until then, we are signing off, and we will see you wherever we start. Where do we start? We will see you the week after Labor Day for the Bully Dog Coffee Company Rising Stars Series Season 2.
That was my attempt at a song to sign us out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. That was a fun little take there. You guys got to see a little behind the scenes of how I do some broadcasting. I do that on Wednesday nights, and I'll probably continue doing that and giving that a shot and see what I can do on this computer and move around. So hopefully you had some fun. See you all later.